Thank you.
Thank you.
Get the full experience with ours here. I'm excited.
Good evening, everybody. This is Arlie Johnson with you on Best Bet Live. We are at our final table for our September $400 no limit hold'em $100,000 guaranteed prize pool event. This tournament drew 445 total entries. Prize pool ended up going at 144,625. And again, we are down to our final 9 contestants, and it's time to introduce you to our players here for the final table. We'll start in the 1 seat and work our way around. Hailing from St. John's, Florida, currently second in chips, $2,060,000. Please welcome Joey Burns. Love the golf claps, everybody. Keep them coming. In our 2 seat, from Charleston, South Carolina, $1,415,000 is his chip stack. Please welcome Ki Ho. We have another South Carolina representative in the 3 seat. He's from Greenwood, South Carolina, standing at $665,000 in chips. A round of applause, please, for Mark Linsenbigler. The second of 3 players from St. John's, Florida. He's also our chip leader right now, $2,790,000. Please give a warm welcome to Mahesh Linga. In the 5 seat, he is from right here in Jacksonville. Chip count is 935,000. Please give a round of applause to Harry Chavla. To the 6th seat, also from Jacksonville. His chip count stands at 1,340,000. Please welcome Eddie the Monster Marskoski. In the 7th seat, our 3rd and final representative from St. John's, Florida. He is currently the short stack at $215,000, but that doesn't mean he's not GT Jack Sumner. Shortest stack, biggest applause. Interesting. In the 8th seat, $805,000 is his chip count from Jacksonville. That's Johnny Lou. And rounding out the field, he is from down the Panhandle in Tallahassee, Florida. He stands at $900,000 in chips. Please give a warm welcome to Bill Thompson. Gentlemen, we will resume play with our blind level at 25,000 small blind, 50,000 big blind, 50,000 ante. We still have 11 minutes left on that clock. Button begins in the 1 seat. Jacob Macho Camacho is your dealer. Good luck, everybody. Dealer, shuffle up and deal. First place today, 33,000 plus 33,265. Next person out for 9th place receives 3,182. Good luck, all. Shuffle up and deal, Jacob.
All right, that was the announcements from one Arlie Johnson as he does the introductions for our final table for our 100K guarantee. What is going on, everyone? Hopefully you guys are having a good Sunday evening. You got myself, Ryan, also known as Country, joined by Mike Kruger, card room manager, Best Bet Orange Park. Mike, how you doing today, man?
Oh, very excited to be here today, Country.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you love the tournament scene. You love these final tables, and looks like we'll have a pretty interesting one here tonight with a lot of local flavor on our final table tonight.
Yeah, not a lot of things I'd rather watch than football, but this final table would be one of them.
Absolutely. There's a few, again, a few favorites of ours. Of course, you see Eddie Marskoski there, one of the players of the final table. Usually you hear him on commentary as well for some of our tournaments. See John L. making his return to the final table. Also one of my favorites, GT Jack, part of this final table as well. He's got his work cut out for him because he is a short stack.
Yeah, came in short, but he knows how to make a comeback.
Oh, 100%.
I'm sure he's excited to find a double up real quick.
Yeah, he is very much a tournament veteran. You see a lot. He does pretty well in these tournament situations. So our first hand, we are heads up here. 7-6 king flop. Joey Out-flopping Mahesh.
Mahesh originally opened under the gun, made it 100,000 over the 50K big. Joey called from the button, gets to play this hand in position. See what he likes to do against this continuation bet.
Just going to go ahead and elect the call. Trey on the turn. Does bring out a potential club draw. Hesh is going to go ahead and check it over. He is your current chip leader, by the way. You see 52 bigs for him. Now Joey's going to go ahead and fire out a bet here of 150,000, and that will lead to a fold. So Joey will take down this first hand of our final table. Again, 445 total entries in our 100K guarantee. I think the total prize pool ended up being $625. As you saw the payouts earlier, first place taking home $33,265. That's not a bad payday. We did end up paying out the first 50 places. Our next elimination that we do have, though, is going to be taking home $3,182. See a lot of our chat regulars in YouTube. What's up, Deb? What's up, Steve? Good to see y'all. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Got Mike in the YouTube chat as well. All right, Eddie opening things up. Ace-Queen offsuit, +1. Bumps it up to 110,000.
Just over a min raise for Eddie. Pretty standard here with Ace-Queen. See if anybody has a hand worth playing behind.
Ace-Deuce for Joey and the cutoff.
Joey's establishing himself early as not one to try and bluff through. You see him defend yet again. Just saw him defend the last hand with King 5 suited from the button.
All right, another heads-up situation. Yep. Ace-Queen versus Ace-Deuce. Eddie does spike his queen on the flop.
Still does come down King high. Not always happy to see an overcard to your pair. See him check it over. Joey checks back.
6 of clubs on the turn.
Yeah, pretty safe turn card from Eddie's perspective, as you would assume Joey's not checking back a king.
Jack on the river.
Spades don't come in, but a couple of straights do. Should Joey have ace-10 or something like 10-9 suited. Looks like Eddie is going to bet for a little bit of value. Not often Joey's going to have a hand better than his, checking both flop and turn. You see Joey let it go. Eddie stake down a little pot. Always nice to get things going in the right direction early at a final table.
Absolutely. Especially a final table like this, where I would assume with this being a local, a local feel for a final table, a lot of our regulars in the room, a lot of these guys probably have played against each other on plenty of tournament tables that we've had here at Best Bet.
This is a $400 buy-in event right here in Jacksonville. Across the last couple days, day 2 being today. Flights Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So definitely going to be a little bit more local of a field. Not quite like our WPT, drawing in some of the bigger names that'll be rolling through.
Yeah, of course we've been talking about WPT a month away basically. Starting off with that first event.
This feels a little bit like a warm-up.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's getting closer and closer.
It's like pre-gaming. It's like the kickoff party, just about. Pocket 5s from Mark on the button, but he's gonna let it go after Kui raised it up to 175,000 with the 10-8 offsuit.
Yeah, very light open by Kui. Pretty hard to see it coming, especially as the players try to feel each other out. And like we talked about not too long ago, Jack does have a very short stack. So it's going to put some ICM pressure on some of those lighter stacks like Mark had. Maybe don't want to get in there and battle when you know a knockout might be looming. Especially as the big blind is about to hit Jack on the next hand.
That will.
Pay jumps start mattering more and more when you get to a final table. You don't want to get it in too late. See yourself get eliminated. Oh, looks like Jack's got support coming out. Karen rooting him on.
Absolutely.
Recognize that last name, so.
As I mentioned before, GT Jack, always a favorite of mine to see in the room. If there's one person I hope makes a final table, it definitely is GT Jack.
It's always a pleasure to see anywhere you go. Unless you're sitting directly beside him at the table.
Yeah.
He is pretty solid on the tournament streets.
As we mentioned, I mean, he is the short stack, but again, I mean, very much a veteran, knows what he's doing. He'll pick his spots.
See a large open size of 175. It's a little over 3 bigs.
And now here's Harry with Ace Jack offsuit.
Yeah, and off of a 16 big blind stack, facing the 3.5 big blind open. Kind of an all in or fold.
Yeah, it does let it go.
And you'll see a lot of players playing a little bit on the safer side when it's a close spot. Especially as the big blind's hitting Jack on this hand. Obviously, he's going to hope to look down at a monster.
You hear, you almost hear a pin drop on the table. Well, now they start laughing.
Yeah, everybody kind of knows it. Again, like you said, everybody's kind of familiar with one another too, so.
Yeah.
When the short stack hits the big blind, it's always a little bit of a awkward moment. Everybody's kind of, you like the guy, but you also want to see people get eliminated so you can get some pay jumps.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny, when you look at the payouts for this one, there are significant pay jumps when you hit the top 4. It's more like top 5. 6 through 9 are kind of pretty close to each other, just about. I think it's only like a $600, $700 difference between those pay jumps, and then you go from 5th to 4th, and it's over 1,000 there, and then over 5,000 from 4th to 3rd. So the pay jumps
higher and higher.
Yeah, definitely start hitting when you start entering that top 4 range.
Well, I see Eddie and Jack kind of both start giggling a little bit there as it folded around to them in the blinds. These two are very familiar with one another.
And we got blind on blind violence here. 10-5 versus 5 tray. Go ahead and check around. 8 on the turn. See Jack only 1 true out. Eddie's probably going to bet here, and Jack's probably going to let it go.
Do in fact see Jack have to let go of his 5 high.
Yeah, he had to let that one go. Like, yep, that's the hand I got in the big blind.
How I drew it up, gentlemen.
Nope. Unfortunately, definitely not. And there you see Jack, only 2 bigs left in his stack. Man, he's got some work cut out for him.
Yeah, starting out with only about 4 bigs, and big blind plus Annie hit him pretty quick. Looking down at 5 tray offsuit, nothing you can really do. It's unfortunate when you're in those spots. But again, especially like you pointed out, him sitting on 2 big blinds out of the small blind, it's going to keep a lot of players honest. You can't raise too light, try to steal the blinds when you have to get it through such a short stack. We actually just limp in here with the king jack rather than open it up. No, you don't have to worry about too many people bluffing behind you since Jack's in the small blind on that very short stack.
Right. Jack's gonna make the call. King 8 offsuit. I mean, essentially leaving himself only 1 big left.
I mean, near that short king 8 looks like a premium.
It does. And he does hit an 8 on the flop.
John, meanwhile, open-ended, so probably gonna see John put in the call, and they'll be off to the races here. Sure enough, that is what happens. So Jack looking for a big double up. Give him some breathing room should he hold with the best hand right now.
Yep, so he's got to hold off. John open-ended.
Looking for an ace or a 6. Does not get it on the turn.
There's the board. And Jack's going to live. 2 pair.
Yeah. There, just like that. He may have wanted to double up a little bit sooner, but he gets it now. A little bit of breathing room as he gets the button as well.
That's when my time you guys are gonna start coming in taking over. Thank you. So the blinds are up actually right now, so 36 to 60 is what we're looking at.
All right, so you have the blinds are up now. Again, just getting things started technically. There was about 11 minutes left in this level when they resumed play once we got the final table. Again, this is what they are playing for. Those are the payouts. First place, $33,265 up top for first place. The first elimination we do get will take home $3,182. But yeah, we were talking about those pay jumps. There you see it like 5th and up. Those pay jumps get very, very significant. As everyone
really
is
playing for those 8th and 9th place payouts as it sits right now.
Yeah.
Especially with most of these players are very experienced. Mahesh sitting on top, chip counts. Joey closed the gap there with that hand we saw them two play early on.
Yeah, very first hand.
Joey took a nice chunk from Mahesh to kind of draw them close to even. Makes it interesting as there's no overwhelming chip lead that can fully bully the medium-sized stacks with the short stack still in. Kind of keeping everybody honest for the time being. Here it folds around to Eddie. It's not a Jack 9 offsuit. Looks like he is going to open things up.
Gotta be 120.
6, yeah, 120 is so yeah, 120 to 6, 107.
Does. Open as a mid-click from Eddie, making it 2 big blinds to go, which is currently 120K. Action folds to Bill in the big blind, looking down at 10-6 offsuit. Not much he can battle with there off a 13 blind stack, and Eddie just gets to take it down uncontested. Always nice to chip up without too much trouble.
First time in Kettle One? You'll like it, trust me.
Once again, do appreciate everybody tuning in. Looks like we have Christian rooting on Joey, Brett rooting on GT Jack. Anybody else out there rooting on a player at this table, feel free to let us know who you're rooting for. Always a lot of fun seeing people come out, root their friends and family on, sweat along together. Hopefully enjoy the ride to a trophy and 33K payday. With how tight some of these chip counts are, it really is anybody's game. Very early, still 9-handed. Could see anybody emerge from this table. Action folds all the way around to the small blind Bill. Bill kind of chuckles as he looks at the 9-5 offsuit and just open folds. So Joey getting a walk. See Heather over in Facebook rooting on Joey right before he did, so that's always good news. Not too many things better out there in the world today than taking a walk in the big blind.
Do you mind showing this table?
No, sure.
And then here's your Captain Morgan and bottle of water.
My Captain Morgan. You got Captain too?
Action is folding around again here. Now Harry off of 13 bigs, looking down at King 7 suited. Kind of did the look to his left, think twice about it, just lets it go rather than opening it up.
I'm about to get your green tea. Starbucks didn't have it out yet whenever I brought the other drinks out.
Looks like Eddie.
Here's the
The mystery hand as of now. He is going to raise it up. Going with just over a min click, makes it 125 to go, does Eddie. Not sure what he's got yet. We know after seeing Eddie open with Jack 9 not too long ago, he's not afraid to pass on a little bit on the lighter side of openings. Players behind him are a little bit short and a little bit honest types, so good spot for him to open and kind of steal position away. Sure enough, 1 by 1, everybody lets it go behind, and Eddie, another raise and take, is to take this one down. Kind of establishing himself at this final table in the early going.
Yeah, big for Eddie too, because start accumulating those chips, you start getting more blinds.
Yeah, puts him over the 30 blind mark at this point. A lot of breathing room now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're feeling pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah, you see a lot of the other guys sitting on that like 10 to 15 big blind range, kind of handcuffed into playing a little bit more snug right now. And Eddie kind of taking advantage of that dynamic. Especially with Mahesh to his right, he kind of needs to see what one of the bigger stacks does before he acts.
All right, pocket 4s for Harry here.
Early position, small pocket pair. See what Harry elects to do with it.
150, he's gonna bump it up.
Yeah, raising about 2.5x.
These deuce for Eddie in the muck.
He's pretty aware. This is the first hand we've seen Harry play so far, and off a shorter stack, we're going to see Eddie just let it go.
King 4 in the muck as well.
You can see Bill a little frustrated with the hands he's looked down at so far. Probably itching to get in the mix.
Yeah,
Everybody else folds as well.
Definitely.
Take one down.
I mean, definitely the feeling of being card dead early on the final table. Don't feel too good about it, but at the same time, you know, I mean, we've seen this thing be a marathon. Patience definitely a virtue.
Patience definitely one of the bigger qualities on a final table. Especially if you're on the shorter side of things, it's easy to get frustrated and stick the chips in a bad spot. As we saw Jack, you know, come in the table with 4 bigs, be patient. Did get a double up, back to 4 or 5 big blinds.
And 6-4 suited for Harry now. Suited 1 gapper.
And
letting go.
Just going to let go of under the gun.
Yep. Eddie, King Jack off suit. Let's go as well.
Yeah, we see Jack
Good luck, Jack.
effectively shove
Yeah.
immediately.
Ace 7 off suit.
Yeah, any ace when it folds to you with 5 bigs is very nice hand to look down at.
I like how Jack bets that he leaves 1 chip behind. Loves himself a 5K chip behind. Ooh, pocket 10s for Mark.
Yeah, Mark waking up with a monster in this spot.
So he essentially puts himself all in,
Yeah, he shoves.
and that means Mark or Jack acted like he was gonna fold.
So Jack going to be looking for an ace against Mark's
Do me
pocket
good, do
10s.
me good. All those flips.
It is for Jack's tournament life. Almost Mark's tournament life should Jack spike it. Mark would be crippled.
This could
If
be.
10s can hold.
Oh wow! And Jack just flops a monster. 2 pair for him.
Yep, no heart for Mark either, so no backdoor flush.
Wow, so big hand for GT Jack. And just like that,
It's going to make all the Jack fans happy in the chat to see that ace fall. See Jack get the full double up. Mark is going to be crippled.
yeah, that hurts
Luckily
unfortunately.
for him, the blinds went through him, so he'll have a few hands to be a little patient and hope to get it in well and double up himself.
Yeah, maybe find some ways to steal some blinds. But a big hand for Jack, and just like that, went from 6 bigs to now having 13 bigs, so he's working his way back up there.
quite a few fans of GT Jack out in the chat, so
I'm glad I got a double now.
might be able to see him stick around a little bit longer than we kind of originally thought.
Yeah. And you're kind of feeling like you're back in business now.
Oh, very much so alive at this point. The biggest stack of the table has, only 40 bigs. When you get over when you get around 10, suddenly you're very much alive. Take this thing down.
Again, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys watching. Final table action here of our 100K guarantee. And Joey, best hand in No Limit, pocket aces. Best starting hand, I should say.
Let's just see what he decides to open it up to. For sure not folding. Not going to call either.
Raise has been put in, bumped up to 150,000.
I want to see the short stack mark, just let it go.
Looking, Mr. Aces.
Harry says Mr. Aces. Already knows.
Harry with what would normally be a pretty playable hand.
He does put in the call.
Defend.
He's going to defend his big blind.
I was going to say, with Mark there sitting on essentially 1 or 2 big blinds, Joey's not opening super light. Might be able to fold King 10.
10-5 queen flop. Harry does hit a 10. You can see for him, all of his kings are gone. Joey's going to go ahead and fire out a bet.
Assembling a continuation bet. So they're pretty hefty size, a little over half pot. Betting 225 into round 300 and change. Like the sizing from Joey here. Try to bloat it up a little bit, as a lot of bad turn cards you don't want to see with your pocket aces. A lot of draws that Harry could have, like King Jack. We're going to see Harry call with the 10.
Yeah, it does
put
put
on
in
Joey.
call.
I guess he's putting Joey on Ace King, Ace Jack.
6 on the turn. Doesn't really change much of anything.
Yeah, just going back to Joey's sizing on that flop, it sizes up a turn shove here pretty well. What Harry's chip stack looks like. Especially on a very clean 6 of clubs turn. Imagine that's what Joey is going to do. There it is. Big bet incoming from Joey.
Yep. It's probably going to make Harry wave the white flag.
You counted my chips, sir?
Yeah, I believe that was the plan from the flop. Just a matter of whether Harry believes him or not. Again, if Harry does put him on Ace King, Ace Jack, thinks he's just bullying him, he might call light.
Yeah, true.
If he thinks Joey's capable of making some moves, taking advantage of some of the passive play, especially with a short stack. One of those spots where you can level yourself into putting in a light call. See Harry replaying the action instead. Does let it go correctly on the turn. Might kick himself a little bit for calling that flop bet, but does get away from it on the turn here.
Well, you did mention aces.
He did mention aces at the start, did Harry? He did mention aces, so Joey, nice play from him, gets some more chips to his stack.
Last 2 times you knocked me out with aces. Right, Joey?
You said it, so 3 times.
They didn't pull you 3
That
times.
made me a little
Now
nervous.
it's 3. Now it's 3.
I was like, he's got 10 win.
Yeah, just like that, we're going to see Joey be the chip leader after that hand.
Oh, he said it in the middle of the hand?
Huh?
You said it in the middle of the hand?
No, he told me that. He tells me every time he sees me, I know I go down twice for these.
One was day before,
I know, you're right.
and one was in Orange Park.
But it was twice.
Almost did it a third time here.
Here we go. John L. Pocket sevens for John. He's a tournament champion. Won the Winter Series Open earlier this year, event number 1.
What if he has third time?
So
Opening
no,
run good event in March.
As a sniper.
no stranger to this final table.
I think he even played out of that exact same seat, if I remember correct.
He was one seat over. One seat over. He was in the 7 seat.
7 seat. So he's good on that side of the table.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Joey, pocket fives now, bumps up to 175, and now Mark all in with his remaining chip stack, ace tray.
Mahesh waking up with a premium ace queen behind.
Ace queen, yeah.
May elect a 3-bet. Him and Joey do have some wiggle room for some play, so instead Mahesh just gonna let it go.
Does I go. Harry, pocket tens now.
I don't think he's gonna be letting it go.
No.
Don't see Harry folding pocket tens off of an 8 big blind stack.
Wonder if Eddie beside him. What he may elect to do here. Did he forget he was in the hand?
Don't think he knows what he has yet either.
Wow.
We thought he was thinking over a decision on the
I didn't
all-in.
realize I wouldn't talk to him.
Talking to him, he's about to push them all in for sure, right? Well, if I gotta go, I gotta go.
Okay, so I have a question. If he knocks 2 people out, then what happens?
Sorry?
If he knocks 2 people out in the same hand,
The shorter stack is gonna get 9.
The placement is based off of starting the hand.
That's a Ben answering the question, I guess, if there's a double elimination.
Valid question from Harry given this dynamic. Just want to make sure
Harry.
he's not, shafting himself into a lower payout if he gets eliminated along with Mark here. Knowing Mark is most likely getting in pretty light with 1.5 bigs.
So let's
In
see.
case, just in case Joey has a big hand like pocket aces, pocket kings, and knocks them both out. Can't imagine. Joey's going to fold. It does look really strong when somebody shoves over and all in, but given the fact Mark was so short,
Yeah, Joey does put in the call. So here we go, 3-way all in.
Joey looking for a 5 to knock out 2 players. Mark looking for an ace to stay alive.
Oh, and the other thing too for Joey, this would be a huge chip stack advantage he would get if he does somehow pull this
Really
off.
nice with these
I
heads.
know his game and his style.
I'm just messing up.
But easy for Joey, pretty easy for Joey to put in a call with pocket 5s there. Harry was shoving only about 7-8 bigs. It doesn't have to be very strong over Mark's very, very short all in.
I got this main
So
card
pretty
right there.
pretty standard play to see here.
Okay. Alright. So he's got.
All right, so that's getting things situated here. We're about ready to do our run out. 3-ways all in, ace tray offsuit, pocket 5s, pocket 10s. Tournament life on the line for Mark and Harry.
So he's entitled to.
Harry's 10s could hold. He's going to get a huge pot.
Are in for this pot. Okay.
And he's in for this man.
Chips are all situated. Now getting the cards set up.
Yeah, really.
All right,
See if
off,
Mark can spike an ace or Joey can spike a 5.
all right, off to the races. Oh, and a 5 in the window for Joey. Full house now, 5s full of 8s.
10 and 10 only for Harry.
Oh my gosh.
You win, I win. Both win. We both win.
He's got a vote.
Yeah, and Harry and Mark both had a flush draw to the hearts, but it doesn't matter. Joey's full house, fives full of eights, and we're going to see two players get eliminated.
No, he has full house.
Yeah, fives full of eights for Joey.
Oh, there are 8s there. Okay. Oh my God, nobody's
I think a few of them didn't even realize that there was a full house on the board on the turn.
They just saw the fourth heart fall and thought they were good.
Yeah.
This makes for an awkward conversation.
Everybody looking for the flush and he always
Wow.
got a lock head.
It's unfortunate for them. So that's end up happening. Mark and Harry both eliminated from
Mark in
the.
at 9th, Harry in 8th.
Yep.
Look at me. I didn't even see the ball. I didn't see the run.
Safe travels by stuff.
So wow, just like that, two players eliminated. And also the other thing too, Joey now over the 3 million mark, has 57 bigs in front of him now after that hand.
Chip lead. Yeah, very good spot for him. Is pretty low risk, high reward.
Got it in and got the double knockout there. And there's the way the stacks look now. Yeah, again, 57 bigs for Joey. Now John is essentially the short stack at the table with 10 bigs.
Him, Bill, and Jack all down there around 10. A little scary.
You guys are going home, man.
Jack, 2 pay jumps, plus a little bit of breathing room still.
Yeah.
Didn't
Still got a little
expect that
bit of
coming
room.
to this table as short as it was. Players are getting a chuckle out of the celebration we saw when the fourth heart fell.
I'm over here
A couple of players thought they were still in this tournament. Unfortunately for them, they didn't realize the board was paired.
That would be looks bad.
Heart did not help. Meanwhile, we gotta look at 3 real hands here. Everybody's chuckling. It's going to get quiet here real soon as Bill opened it up with pocket kings. Joey called ace-queen, and wow, Queen gets away from ace-jack suited. Almost thought he might put in a 3-bet. Maybe he's aware that Bill's been playing pretty snug and he's on a short stack.
Joey,
Wouldn't be opening it very late from early position.
What's that?
Joey's a little bit aware of that as well. As he only put in the call with ace queen, elected not to 3-bet like he would a majority of the time.
All right, so yeah, we're heads up. Ace queen versus pocket kings. 4-6 tray flop.
About as safe as it gets for Bill.
I need to count.
Bill is going to go ahead and put in the all-in.
About a pot-sized shove. We're going to just get it all in here against another overpair that he has crushed. Joey asking for a count, seeing if he's getting the right price to call, especially if he believes that Bill has a pocket pair lower than queens. All aces and queens will be live. Getting about 2-1 to put the call in.
I'll check it down, sir.
Joey.
Think about putting in the call.
Yeah, it seems like he thinks there is a chance he has the best hand, as Bill might be doing this with ace-jack or ace-10 as well.
And talk about how
Joey like to defend, doesn't want to be pushed around. He's got the chips to make some mistakes should he misstep, you know, won't cost him his tournament life by any means.
no. He does make the call. So we are off the races. Kings very much in the lead. Yep. Joey just needs one ace.
Good for an ace.
In the meantime, this could be a big double up for Bill coming. After the run out is clean. Jack on the turn.
Ace and ace only for Joey.
Kings hold, so Bill, nice double up for him.
I also thought he could have had ace-10.
Yeah, I could have a
Close.
bazillion things there.
Close to 25 big blinds after that double up for Bill.
Lucky hell.
It's going to get him out of the gutter. Kind of leaves just John and Jack down there on the 10 big blind stacks as Bill escapes that short stack trouble spot. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. As mentioned, Jack and John, the two short stacks, sitting on about 10 big blinds, and they are in the small and big right now. Might be forced to run into one another should the action fold around. Bill first here, looking down at 8-9 offsuit. Fresh off the double up, gonna let it go. The action quickly fold around. It does, in fact, get around to Jack in the small blind. He's just gonna rip it into John. Again, they are the two short stacks, and Jack gets to take down this pot. Puts them around 13 bigs to John's 8 after that raise and take, stealing the big blind from John there. Now John going to be the overwhelming short stack, but again, we've seen people come back from worse already. Sitting on 8 big blinds, John is by no means out of this thing yet. Joey first act with ace-10 from under the gun. Gonna open things up here. Raised it up to a little over 3 bigs, 200K. Mahesh looking down at ace-king offsuit, putting in the call. So the 2 big stacks. Looking like they might clash on this hand. Mahesh and Joey currently sitting in first and second in terms of chip counts. If we get the right flop, we can see a very big chip lead emerge for one of these two players. Does come down king high for Mahesh. King, queen, 6 rainbow. Joey first to act was the pre-flop raiser. See if he elects to put out a C bet or not. Looks like he is going to continue. Puts him on a small continuation. Betting 150,000 into 500,000. See Mahesh putting in the smooth call. Like the call from Mahesh, as it's maybe a lot of time a way ahead, way behind scenario. Also a way for Mahesh to continue to under-rep the strength of his hand if Joey's holding something like king jack, king 10. Imagine that's what Mahesh is targeting, trying to get Joey to keep firing. As played, we see deuce with spades on the turn, and Joey's just going to check it over. Now we're going to see Mahesh start betting for value now that Joey's slowed down. You see Mahesh put out 275. About a 1/3 size of the pot. Trying to charge any draws Joey might have, just in case he has jack 10 or a hand like he has ace 10. Make him pay to see the river. At the same time, getting value out of the weaker kings. Let's see, for this price, Joey doesn't want to let go of it yet. Worth noting as well, Joey holding the ace of spades. He may have been tempted to represent a flush draw if spades came in. But, as played, we see Joey let it go. Mahesh has been pretty snug so far. Maybe you don't want to go to war with the only guy that can put the biggest dent into you.
Yeah.
After that hand, we're going to see Mahesh retake the chip lead from Joey. They've traded it back and forth early and often so far into this final table. Once again, do appreciate everybody joining us and hanging out with us on this final table. Our $400 buy-in, 100K guaranteed event. Hosted here at Best Bet Jacksonville, located in Northeast Florida. Speaking of thankful, here's Quee being real thankful, looking down at pocket aces. Going to open things up with them. Steady actually just puts in the sneaky limp. May pay off as it gets around to Eddie, looking down at ace-queen suited. Going to raise it up to 175,000. Right around 3 big blinds on the raise for Eddie. Eddie off a 25 big blind stack. Quee with a very similar stack size. And now Bill, also with that same stack size of 25 bigs, looking down at ace-king. Bill in a very precarious spot, maybe putting in a 3-bet. Steady just calls. It's going to be interesting to see if Eddie and or Bill can get away from it here. As we know, Quee's probably going to spring the limp raise when it gets to him. While Joey's putting in the call this 10-9 suited, thinking he's getting an amazing price. Quee with a snap shove. After Eddie, alarm bells going off. You see him not really think about it too long, just lets it go. Now action on Bill. He is severely under-repped as he only called pre-flop after Eddie opened. Hard for anybody to believe that Bill has a hand as strong as he has.
Make sure it's Jacksonville and not some red city.
201
So Bill, aware that he may be under-repped, but also aware that the limp raise is usually a very strong hand. Kind of going to be torn here about how to proceed, whether he should be calling or should be folding. Interestingly enough, if Bill would have put in a 3-bet and then Quee back raised, it'd be a lot easier to get away from it here, but as played, it's going to be tough to fold. See if Bill can think better of it, let it go. These two did have very, very similar chip stacks to start the hand, so it would essentially be for his tournament life. I believe he is covered, but if not, it won't be by much.
As you mentioned, it would definitely cripple him, though, for sure.
Yeah, these guys are within 1 big blind of each other.
Yeah.
One way or the other, so it's, if they get it in, loser is going home. Same time, if they get it in, winner be the chip leader.
Bill has not quite let go of his hand yet.
Yeah, very, very tough decision for him. See him getting a full chip count of his stack and his opponent's.
You hear him say, yeah.
This is for our tournament life, huh?
Yep. What did he just say?
Yeah. Very brutal spot. We see him let it go.
Yeah. Decides to just live to fight another day. And Joey is...
The limp raise is just so strong.
I was hoping he got king. He thinks too long. I just believe him king. I got ace. Yeah, I got value.
I folded ace king.
Fuck, man. How can he fold that? I got ace.
I mean, considering where he was and
I call it ace king.
And again, he's picking his spots. Felt like that wasn't the right time to go for it with the ace-king there.
No, not against the limp raise, especially over Eddie's open and 2 colors. You're not going to be jamming light. Is agree with that stack
Right.
under the gun limp.
Lines aren't open. We're looking at 40.
And it played out so different if we just opened instead of limping.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have saved me money if you would have raised. Oh, we got 40 right here, 80 twice right here.
All right, so that's the way the stacks look as of now. Mahesh, excuse me. 47 bigs for him. Joey, 35 bigs. Kui, 33 bigs. Eddie at 25. Right now, John is the one that is the short stack at 7 bigs for him. And again, this is what they're playing for. First place up top, $33,265. We've already seen 2 eliminations. Mark taking home $3,182. And Harry, $3,760 for him in that 3-way all-in where Joey was able to hit a set on the flop and then turned it into a boat on the turn. And Harry and Mark both thought they got runner for the flush, but didn't realize the board paired for the boat. Probably one of the funnier hands.
Depends on what side of it you're on, I guess.
Yeah, true. From a spectator point of view, it was kind of funny.
For
Especially
those
when
two,
Harry
not
didn't.
so much. For everybody else, yes.
Yeah. Well, especially when Harry didn't realize he was still in the hand.
Yeah, it was. That might have been fun.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jack opening it up with ace and 2 soft suit.
Joey, mystery hand for him. Don't know what he has yet.
He's thinking about it though. If you're Jack, you're kind of just hoping to raise and take here.
180? 175 is the bet.
If not, you're hoping to get a flop that you can just take it down on.
You know, Joey likes to
defend.
Yep.
Doesn't want to be pushed around, doesn't want people stealing his blinds. Can't blame him. Don't want to be a pushover in a tournament, that's for sure. At the same time,
sure.
have to believe that Jack's opening very strong given how short he is.
He is going to make the call with his mystery hand. Ace deuce for Jack. Queen 5 for Kui.
He's just thinking he's getting a good enough price to get in there with a speculative hand, but gonna tread carefully, just let it go. Not too worth it given how short Jack is to try and suck out there.
4-8-8 flop.
2 spades, Jack's holding the ace of spades. Pretty good board for Jack to continue on. See him fire out about a half pot size bet. Joey snap folds. Jack gonna chip up.
Any way I could first. I was hoping lucky on here.
Showing the viewers how to play a short stack is Jack tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's already moved up 2 spots in the payouts, at least.
And a hand like that one, most players would probably just open jam, sub 10 big blinds with ace deuce. But he's showing you can open and then decide whether to continuation or bet or not, given how safe the board is. Continuation bet doesn't have to be an all-in either. Just in case Joey had something like 8-9 suited and check raise shoves, you can get away and still have some life. So a couple different ways to play the hand. It doesn't have to be just all in or full.
You see Eddie now under the gun, king, queen offsuit, going to go ahead and put in the raise.
Blinds did go up to 40-80, that's why we see Eddie opening to 165. Usually Eddie's going to be opening up to essentially a minimum raise. Bill with a pocket pair. Did just get some chips. Might be thinking about putting in the call and hoping to spike a set here.
Let's not to. Does let it go. And it's going to fold around, so Eddie's going to take another walk.
Not so many people trying to go at him today, it looks like.
No.
Don't want to fight a man with a cowboy hat on.
Could have came along. Could have came along.
I mean, we saw a cowboy hat last weekend, right? Now we got the cowboy hat here on the final table. Two very different players. But yes, Eddie with the cowboy hat. It's a staple for him.
I will 80 to go.
All right, ace-7 suited for GT Jack under the gun. Lets it go.
Gonna let it go with his 13 big blinds.
Yeah. Now pocket 5s for Bill. Bill's been getting pocket pairs, but they've been kind of these low pocket pairs.
Yeah, low pocket pairs don't function as well in a tournament setting as they do a cash game.
Right.
Especially off of, you know, this short to medium sized stack. It always makes post flop play very awkward.
He wants day 3.
See him weighing the options.
200,000 from the
He's just going to open it up, making it 200K to go. Went for the 2.5, big blind to open.
Ooh, pocket kings for Mahesh.
Yeah, just a matter of 3-bet, maybe trap Bill.
Puts into 3-bet.
Gonna 3-bet it up.
Gets Eddie out of there.
Bad. Eddie behind, and he is a good player. You probably want to 3-bet just to get him out of there in case. Don't want to price him in with a decent hand. Take it multi-way.
Yeah.
See Bill quickly fold the 5s. You can see that's why they don't. Those small pocket pairs are hard to play in a tournament setting, just because of that. You can't really call a 3-bet with them. Where in a cash game, you're deep enough that you can. Makes them a little bit tougher to play in these.
Just as awesome to see Eddie at the final table. Absolutely. I think it's Eddie's second final table this year he's been on. Was on the first event, Winter Series final table.
No, they still got a couple more minutes.
Yeah, he took 3rd place in that one for 23K
They did.
back in January. He's been having a fun year.
Yeah.
Almost saw him at the final table in that mystery bounty main event.
Yep. And
Eddie
of course,
got knocked out a little early and joined us in the booth instead.
yeah, this is true. And then also Eddie had a pretty good run, some pretty good runs out of the World Series of Poker out in Vegas this summer too. So Eddie's had a pretty solid year to say the least.
Yeah, final table to World Series of Poker shootout event. 3rd place in a Venetian deep stack event. Very active summer. Felt like every other day I'd wake up and see him posting some sort of nice chip stack or status update on Facebook.
Ooh, ace queen offsuit for GT Jack here in the big blind.
Yeah, Joey was the original raiser. Seen Joey be a little bit more active than the rest of the table. Same time, like Jack's gonna play it out of position, a little bit more cautiously, not 3-betting. Take it to the flop and navigate it there.
6-5-10 flop.
Yeah, only one overcard to Joey's pair, and it's a 10, not a ace king queen card that you'd be a little bit more scared of. So probably a flop. We're going to see Joey continuation bet after Jack checks it over to him.
Joey puts in 350 as his bet.
It's a healthy continuation bet size. See Jack thinking it over.
Jack's gonna put in the call.
Yeah, and I wonder if how active Joey has been so far at this final table is playing into it.
5 on the
He's
turn.
No, Joey's capable of continuing with a wide range of hands here.
You got a 10, you're good.
Jack
does put in the call to ace high.
Yeah, this is his first tournament life. Still a few outs for him to work with ace queen.
Yeah, 5 of hearts on the turn. Didn't change too much on the board and brought in some more hands that Joey could semi-bluff with.
And it seemed like Jack already knew. He already said good game before the river even came out. And Jack, unfortunately,
did fall.
yep. So unfortunately, GT Jack has been eliminated. He is going to go ahead and finish up in 7th place tonight for
GT Jack. You can see taking home 4,300 for his 7th place finish, and it looks like he joined us in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, he did.
And horrible navigation, just was playing pretty fast. Didn't believe him. Yeah, I think especially with how wet that board was, we could have seen Joey continue all sorts of combo draws. Again, Joey's been pretty active as well.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I did hear over here Jack say, not too bad for firing only 1 bullet. So,
one bullet and coming in as a short stack.
Yeah.
The sun guys looks amazing, by the way.
Wow, Joey aces again.
Joey on a heater.
So bumped up to 175 does Joey.
Suited connectors for Kui.
We elected to play it. Gonna make the call. 8-7 suited. Pocket deuces. We always joke around saying deuces never loses. Eddie's like, yeah, not in this spot. So aces versus 8-7 suited. And he does hit an 8 on the flop.
Pretty action flop, 8 high.
And he's also got a
Also
gutter.
got shot straight draw for Kui. Kind of flop you want to see when you're in there with 8-7 suited.
Amazing.
Seen Joey use pretty large continuation sizes. Let's see if he can play so again. And he does. Goes 350K into 500.
We sticking with it,
Big
making the
call.
call.
Yeah, very fast call on Kui there.
Oh, wow. A deuce on the turn. Eddie would have had the set of deuces.
Yeah, Eddie would have folded the flop though to a C-bet.
Yeah, as I say, it wasn't going to be in there anyway, regardless.
As it stands now with that deuce on the turn, it's another card. Looks pretty safe if you're Kui. You got top pair on the board, Joey. Firing again. We just saw him fire the last hand in a similar manner with pocket 8s. When there was an overcard to his pocket pair. So this line doesn't necessarily look exactly like an overpair.
Wow. Man.
Snap call by Kui.
Man, he has stayed committed.
It's a huge pot brewing here between Joey and Kui as we go off to the river.
Queen on the river. Aces are going to be good for Joey, and he's all in. And a snap call from, wow, Kui stayed committed.
We did not believe Joey here. And in the blink of an eye,
man,
just see Joey eliminate Kui for a monster pot.
Joey, I think Joey has eliminated, has all the eliminations. He had the double elimination on Mark and Harry. He eliminated Jack, and now he eliminated Kui. He's eliminated all the players at the table that's been eliminated. Wow.
Similar manner, we saw GT Jack in YouTube chat saying Joey was playing fast with the hand that they ran into each other. Pretty similar there. And Kui never took a second to think about it. That was crazy. Crazy fast elimination.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for Joey.
Yeah, well, I have it in between. It's in the 7.
Chris over at Facebook says, John's sitting there like, keep going, Joey. John being the short stack. Happy to see these pay jumps that
I mean, and Kui
he just keeps getting.
That's the thing, like Kui did not have a short stack. He had a pretty good stack in front of him too.
Yeah, he just didn't believe that Joey had it. Stuck to his read.
Wow, wow.
We talked about it a couple times at our last final table. We saw players, when facing those decisions, kind of double check and double think themselves over. And that would have been one of those spots for Kui that would have really benefited a little bit of thought on the river.
Yeah, I mean, it's only that has to be the only thing. He just didn't believe that Joey had such a strong hand.
Meanwhile, John gets to rip it from the small blind into Bill's big and take it down. Much needed life for him. He's off the shortest stack on the table.
Well, there's a look at the stacks now. John 5 bigs, but like Kui essentially did him a favor. John laddered up. This next ladder up is it's about I want to say a $1,500 jump from 6th to 5th or something like that.
You gave him hope. He said, which one? He's like, oh yeah, top. He's like, oh yeah, no good aces. Again.
Actually, no. I was thinking about 5th and 4th. So it's still about a $800 jump. Take a look at those payouts again, real quick. Yeah, $700 jump. So not as much as I thought it was going to be. I got confused with 5th and 4th.
There's a fly guy in the YouTube chat speculating that Kui was getting texts from his wife. That's why he was in a hurry to get out of here.
Maybe she flipped on the live stream and he's like, wait a minute. You're not supposed to be here.
Could be it.
Ace deuce.
Double up or get out of here.
Yeah. Ace deuce for John on the button, suited. He's going to go ahead and put it all in here. Yeah, essentially for his tournament life.
Playing a great hand to look down at off of 5 big blinds.
460.
Any ace,
Joey.
let alone a suited one, is going to just open shove. Yeah, Joey with ace 4.
Could Joey possibly eliminate a 5th player?
Possibly, but more than likely we're just going to see these two chop it up after Joey inevitably puts in the call.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like tournament heaters go at a final table, got the chip lead and you are responsible for 4 eliminated players. Puts in the call.
Here we go, ace deuce, ace 4. Let's see if either one can make a pair. Otherwise, we're going to be off to the chop.
Alright, let's see this flop here. 6 trade deuce.
That's a flop indeed for John, hitting a pair and a
It
flush
is.
draw.
Oh, that completes the straight for Joey.
It's the black 5 on the turn for the straight.
Wow.
As you just predicted, Joey going to eliminate John.
Sorry, dude.
An insane turn as Joey just spikes a 3 outer to eliminate John.
That's the 5th elimination.
John wasn't even drawing dead after the turn either. Any heart would have given him a straight, given him a flush.
No, John was very much alive. He was very much alive. Jeez.
If I call you, probably fold there.
This is probably one of the strongest run goods we've had on this final table.
You know, when you're driving to the poker room and you're giving yourself a speech, trying to manifest a good win.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get it in. I'm going to win my hands. I'm going to play great. Joey's embodying it right now. Just can do no wrong.
I mean,
Waking
listen,
up with monsters, they hold. Getting it in flip spots.
you know, we had that
Easy game.
we have that progressive knockout tournament going on today too over here. He might have been good in that with the way he's running.
This would have been a dream spot for that tournament. Just keep accumulating all those big bounties on the final table.
Wow, wow, wow. Joey just cannot be stopped. Now he wakes up with kings.
All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. Joey wins. Spoiler. If it continues like this, nothing anybody can do to stop it. But
this is unreal.
meanwhile, the other 3 opponents at the table, pretty well-experienced players. So Joey's heater slows down. I'm sure they can take advantage.
Then we got to look out for you.
he is running in fuego right now, is Joey.
Everybody just kind of marveling at it at the moment. Like, okay. You can slow down now.
80 to go.
Let's see if it slows down or if it continues. Down to just 4 players right now. All vying for that 33K up top.
He's gonna do
Joey,
it for you, son.
King 9 of clubs on the button. Just another playable hand for him.
Raise it up, let's go 200.
He's going to bump it up to a pot size raise here.
Yeah, 2.5x, 200K. Everybody's just got to let it go. Nobody had a hand worth playing, and the rich get richer in Joey.
I mean, I just wonder what this does mentally, like, to the other players. The fact that the guy that's a chip leader who's eliminated everybody at the table right now is just bullying his way through everything right now. But he's getting hands to do it with, too.
Every time he's shown down, it's been a real hand. I mean, really, it's easy to get caught up in the momentum and the emotion of the game, but if you just keep taking it all as factual information, you've seen how Joey plays his bigger hands. You know, every hand is a new one. Just, okay, he's the chip leader. How do we approach it? A lot of it's just fighting off that emotion from taking over when you want to use logic in these scenarios.
So here, King 10 suited for Eddie in the small blind. He's just going to go ahead and put it into call.
Yeah, we saw Joey just limp from under the gun rather than open. That's why we saw Mahesh limp along with 4 trays suited from the button.
Joey's going to go ahead and check it, or excuse me, Bill's going to go ahead and check his option. So all 4 players going to go to the flop here.
Not often you can say that. 4-handed, all 4 players going to the flop in a tournament.
8-9-9. So 2 pair for Bill.
Yeah, flush draw for Mahesh.
Bill is going to go ahead and just rip all in.
795.
Yeah, big bet from Bill. Probably just trying to take it down. He is the short stack. So accumulating some chips in a pot like this would be very nice for him.
I'd rather shove with 2 million.
You can see does get Mahesh to fold the flush draw. What Bill wants there, just get people to fold any sort of straight draws, flush draws that they have.
Well, especially, like we mentioned earlier, the fact that all 4 players were in that hand, too.
Yeah, sometimes it's you're just trying to deny the combination of equity that everybody has. You know, if one person has a straight draw and a different person has a flush draw, you're fading a lot of different turn cards. You can get both of those hands out. Better for you than seeing the turn for cheap against both players, not knowing where you're at. Looks like with that takedown, Bill and Eddie are pretty close in terms of chip stack. It's like 14 to 16 bigs. That's the 2 shorties. That's why we saw Bill kind of happily just take it down. Put him back in contention as opposed to if he puts out a value bet and sees a gross turn card, if it crippled him, it'd be much worse off.
10-7 suited versus 9-5 suited. Blind on blind. Bill just hit a 7.
Second pair in a blind versus blind scenario. Good hand for Bill. See him throw out a little bet. He needs to take it down. Just like that. Bill's chipped up.
Again, guys, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys watching. Final table action of our 100K guarantee that we had. 445 players entered this tournament. Total prize pool, it was $144,625. And we've seen 5 eliminations already for our final table. That's the way things look. John, the most recent elimination, taking home $5,785. But there you see at the 4th place money is $7,954. And in third place, huge pay jump, $12,293. So now the jumps are pretty significant.
Obviously, all of them, especially Joey at this point, probably getting his hopes up buying that 33K up top. This hand, we saw Eddie open it up. The only person to fold was Bill, the shorter stack. So he's going against the two people that have him out chipped. Down ace, king, 4 with 2 clubs. So Joey and Eddie both flopping a pair of kings. Ace on board though.
80.
Gonna see Eddie put out a small continuation bet. Something he would do with all of his very large hands. Obviously could have ace, king, aces, and kings as the pre-flop raiser. Joey calls. It's a 7 of clubs on the turn. Front door flush comes in. Interesting to see if Eddie elects to bet small again or check it back for pot control. Does just elect to check it back. Let's see what the river brings, and it's a queen of clubs. Scary card for both players. Neither one holding a club. Joey reaching for chips off the big stack, might be putting it to use here. It's out 250K. A little less than a half pot size bet. Putting the pressure on Eddie, given Eddie's chip stack. 250K isn't a lot to Joey, but it is a good amount to Eddie. Eddie's gonna have to let it go. Just holding 1 pair, no club, with 4 clubs on board, and an overcard to his
Lines
pair.
did go up, so we're looking at 50, 100, 100 now.
We just heard blinds are going up. Short stacks are shrinking slowly but surely as it becomes 100K big blind. Was just 80K big blind. Joey took down that last pot. Applying some pressure to these players now. See him putting his chips to use. Now, we talked about Joey being on a heater to get a lot of those chips, but that was just a good play by him. Didn't have to have the best hand to take that pot down. Action starts on Bill. Look down at 8-4 offsuit. Just gonna let it go from under the gun. Onto the chip leader, Joey. He's gonna fold. So blind versus blind. Mahesh just completes out of the small. Eddie out of the big with 7 tray. Is just gonna check his option. It'll be these two heads up to the flop. 9-8 deuce, 2 clubs. Mahesh with a gut shot. Either player with a pair, both sitting here with 7 high. Actually went check, check. Board pairs 9 of diamonds on the turn. Action goes check, check again. Neither one wanting to bluff at it yet. Now we see ace of clubs on the river. Action's gonna go check, check again. We'll actually see these two chop it up with their 7 high. Sure, they'll get a little bit of a chuckle out of that as neither one expected to win. See them both kind of let off a little bit of a smile.
None of you were expecting that.
Joey says, none of you expecting that. Both thought they were losing that hand for sure. Pleasantly surprised to get any sort of chips back. Happy to see a chop.
Yeah, again, guys, appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys watching as we are down to our final 4 of our final table. We've all seen 5 eliminations already, all from Joey, who is the chip leader. Yeah, he knocked out more than half the table. And Mahesh is going to go ahead and bet out here. 225,000. Eddie, ace 7 suited in the small blind. And Eddie is going to go ahead and put in the all-in.
Suited ace, 10 big blind shove.
1,020,000.
Where that the button can be opening light, especially short-handed like this. Especially in this exact spot, happy to take it down without seeing a flop. Okay, getting it all in and going for the double up, being ahead if you do.
Well, and I think as well, and this is not to, you know, talk ill of the other players that are at a table, especially Joey right now. Joey is a chip leader, but as this game does get shorter and shorter, as far as players remaining, I think experience-wise, Eddie, it starts getting to his advantage because he's been in quite a few of these before.
Yeah, I think especially in terms of the local scene, Eddie's probably more well-known, but Joey quietly actually has a lot of big scores to his name. He's coming off of a hot streak, not just here, but he actually just took down his biggest score ever a few weeks ago.
Nice.
Got a 3rd place finish in the $400 buy-in, $1 million guaranteed event at Hard Rock Tampa.
Oh, nice. Good for him.
Yeah. So always a little bit of nice energy coming off one of your biggest wins.
Right.
Coming into this a little bit looser, a little bit fresher.
And he's, again, got a very comfortable chip lead. Obviously, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think that's part of why he's a little bit comfortable at the table.
Yeah.
Played for a little bit more money at stake just recently, and you cash for more than what first place is in this one. Kind of like Eddie, you know, just very comfortable navigating.
Oh, wow. Joey just flopped 2 pair.
Speaking of being comfortable, 2 pair
Yeah.
will do that to you.
Yeah.
Joey
Unfortunately,
flops bottom 2 and
sometimes.
just checked it over, being sneaky. Praying Eddie was going to c-bet.
Talk about experience. Unfortunately, sometimes experience can't quite measure up to someone who's running like Lord right now.
Yeah, he's also playing well. We did see him put in a nice bluff not too long ago. Kind of doing both. Obviously taking advantage of a good situation, whether it's bluffing or having the best hand and getting value. Here we see Joey bet, and Eddie's got to lay it down. Joey's going to show.
2 pair is good enough.
Yeah. Speaking to some of Joey's experience, he did take down an event here last summer. He won the Best Bet 500 back in June of last year. So
okay, all right.
He's not unfamiliar with taking home one of those Best Bet trophies either.
Yep. Joey has definitely been the one that's dominated this table so far. Eddie, ace 5 suited.
He's not just going to sit by passively. He can accumulate some chips. He's going to be dangerous.
Yep. Just going to let it go. Again, 4th place. Whoever does get eliminated next is going to be taking home $7,954. But again, they are playing for that first place prize of $33,265 up top for first place. Pair of fours and a king on this flop. Checks over to Eddie.
Interesting spot being three ways here.
Looks like Eddie is
Put out that
gonna
small
take this
C
one.
bet.
Yep.
Yeah, firing just 150K in there. Easy spot for him to have a lot of kings in range as the opener. Both players have to pretty quickly let their hands go. It's a pretty significant pot for Eddie there. Chipping up from 12 bigs to 17 bigs. Maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a fair bit of breathing room with how fast the blinds are going to come around four-handed.
Damn, they went up back quick.
Also see that gap
Listen,
in terms of chip stack closing between Eddie and Mahesh. Mahesh was kind of comfortably sitting in second.
We'll get there.
Eddie and Bill on the shorter side now. Eddie and him are inching closer and closer.
You guys gotta tell them that. That's not in the meeting? On the agenda?
Well, you know, Johnny's gone now, so he took it all with him.
Okay.
All right, so Joey going to go ahead and raise on the button.
You know it's going to take
Looking down at an ace, gonna open it up. Made it 3 big blinds. 300K to go. 100K big as it stands now. Eddie sitting here with 7-5 suited, 200K more to call. Just gonna let it go. Or if that sizing played a little bit of role. 7-5 suited may have been worth defending against the min click. That 3x open may have got it done for Joey there.
You want me in there? Secret.
See the chip leader Joey get out of there. Hesh lets it go. It's gonna be blind versus blind. Eddie versus Bill.
Eddie Jack Deuce.
Bill a little bit shorter than him.
Eddie's going to go ahead and put in the raise here.
Yeah, making it around 2.5 bigs. Kind of puts Bill in a very tough spot where off his 9 big blind stack, he either has to kind of go all in or fold.
Eddie
Bill
does.
have to lay it down.
Not a good time because now Bill, unfortunately, 9 bigs left for him. Eddie continuing to chip up. Okay, guys, don't forget, just a reminder, World Poker Tour, speaking of tournaments, October 26th through November 14th. Of course, headlined by our $1 million guaranteed main event. $5,000 buy-in. Check out the website, bestbetjacks.com, for all the details. And now we see Eddie, ace-king suited. So I'll go ahead and put in the raise of 200.
Now Bill looks down at a premium and pocket eights. It'll be hard for these two not to get it all in here.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Bill's going to go all in here.
Yeah, Bill announcing all in, assuming, barring Joey waking up with something behind. Eddie's going to snap call this all in. We will be off to the races in a coin flip between Eddie and Bill. And sure enough, snap call.
Nope. It's pretty much elementary here.
Ace king for Eddie, pocket eights for Bill. classic race four-handed.
That's mine.
Big pot for both players.
All right, so here we
Obviously
are.
For Bill's tournament life,
Yeah.
Eddie would be crippled.
Oh,
Ace and king for Eddie.
yeah, 2 pair for Eddie. Jack on the turn. That's going to be it. Eddie is going to take it down, and Eddie
We're gonna shift, yeah.
gets a
Definitely
nice pot.
a huge pot for Eddie there. It gives him a lot of ammunition. Going to three-handed, second in chips. Nothing Bill could do there. Obviously happy
No.
to get him a pocket eights with that chip stack. Fortunately for him, he's going to be eliminated in 4th place after losing that coin flip.
But still not a bad payday for Bill there. He's going to be taking home $7,954 for finishing in 4th place. And now we are at our top 3, our 3 finalists. 3rd place money, $12,293. 2nd place, $20,971. And of course, everyone playing for 1st place at $33,265 first place prize.
Well, let's get some hands on. Somebody get this deck shuffled over here. He's gone.
Eddie's like, all right, let's play some speed poker now. Hate ace queen flop.
And gut shot to Broadway for Eddie. He was the pre-flop raiser. It's going to be a continuation bet on this board. Eddie continuing to put the pressure on, build his chip stack up even more. Just creeps over the 30 big blind mark now.
Eddie's like, hey, let's speed up the game. Joey's not around anywhere.
Where'd they go?
Joey had to sneak off to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Country was saying, WPT rolling around at the end of October, kicking off on the 26th. For some reason, can't wait. Got the tournament bug between now and then. We do have a pair of tournaments coming next month. GoPo at Orange Park on October 14th. And then the Stack multi-day event coming to St. Augustine. Kicking off October 19th after a meetup game at 2 p.m. First flight at 6 that day. Then flights on the 20th and 21st at noon and 6. Day 2 on the 22nd. Sneaking both of those events in at our other properties before the big series WPT rolls through Best Bet Jacksonville.
I
think for you guys got a tournament coming up in October, the GoPo, correct?
Yeah, GoPo October 14th. It's a one-day, and then the Stack is going to be the multi-day the next weekend. Fun little combo before Jacksonville gets all of the fun in the form of the WPT rolling through starting on October 26th. Meantime, Mahesh, playable hand, and Queen Jack suited opens it up from the button. Joey got back just in time to look down at a pretty playable hand himself, ace-4 suited out of the big. Definitely not folding his big blind here. Just a question of whether he wants to put in the 3-bet with this hand three-handed. Stacking some chips up. He doesn't appreciate Eddie knocking somebody out. He's going to go for it here.
He's like, listen, I'm the one that's been knocking everybody out. Eddie ruined my streak. Joey does put in a 3-bet, $700,000 for him with his ace-4 suited. Mahesh is going to go ahead and put in the call.
Huge pot. That's Mahesh with an opportunity here to get a double up.
Pretty good flop
He
for
may
him.
get
Queen
it.
10-9.
And a good flop for Joey to put Mahesh to the test, possibly, as he's first to act. Might c-bet. See if Joey wants to put in the continuation or not. does
Joey
just
does.
open rip. Mahesh snap calling. It's a massive pot out of nowhere. If Mahesh's hand can hold, he gets a huge double up. We see a chunk of chips get taken away from Joey.
9 pairing to board.
Clean turn. Clean rivers. Mahesh gonna hold.
Yep.
And now it's suddenly much closer to a three-way race than it just was.
Yeah, look at that swing. 2 million chip stack improvement for Mahesh on that hand. Wow.
Full double to almost 40 big blinds. Cripples Joey down to 40 bigs. We know Eddie just chipped up pretty nicely himself to get around 30 bigs, so
yeah, I think it
quickly became anybody's game.
Yeah, definitely evened out. So it looks like Seth's is going to double check the chips here.
Full chip counts to make sure Nash gets paid correctly.
So that's 1,500,500. There's 11. There's 12. I got 20. Good hand.
Yeah, just like that. Mahesh went from the short stack to almost chip lead. Just one pot. Wings like that will happen three-handed.
See for yourselves what these stacks look like now. As he said, they're
much
pretty
closer.
Yeah, much closer.
Yeah, pretty much everybody between 30 and 40 now. It's three-way race for sure. Not too long ago, we saw Joey applying all the pressure with his chip stack, and fortunately for him, bad timing to do so there as Mahesh woke up with a big hand on a nice flop. He's not going to let it go. Let's see who can emerge here. So everybody might start vying for control. Eddie and Mahesh heads up to a flop after Eddie opened things up from the button. Mahesh defended from the big. And another huge flop for Mahesh as he flops 3 kings. King, king, deuce, rainbow. Very, very dry board. Mahesh just gonna check, call Eddie's c-bet. Now king on the turn, quads from Mahesh. Gonna be hard for Eddie to put him on a king now. See the check back. Deuce on the river. See if Mahesh wants to go for some value or continue to let Eddie potentially bluff at it. Mahesh goes with a pretty large size. Praying Eddie had a pocket pair. And Mahesh went almost full pot there, just going for the maximum in that spot. Do like the bet size by him is if Eddie was holding a pocket pair higher than deuces, he'd pretty much have to call just about any size. It looks like Mahesh may have been trying to push off a chop. So if you know Eddie's calling 400K, you might as well just bet 700K because accomplishing nearly the same thing. But after that pot, it's official. Mahesh, new chip leader on this final table. From short stack to the chip lead in just 2 hands. Previous chip leader Joey going to open it up with ace-6 from the button. They had 250K to go over the 100K big blind, so 2.5x. Mahesh puts in the call with king-10 suited. It'll be those 2 heads up to the flop after Eddie lets it go. Flop of 8-7 tray with 2 hearts. Misses both players. After Mahesh checks over, Joey. He's assembling a continuation bet here.
350.
After he announces the bet, Mahesh quickly folds. Joey's going to take it down. So, Joey regains the lead as Mahesh been back and forth a good bit. Creating that chip lead amongst themselves.
I said I figured if I got down to the final table, I'd be playing with the two best players here. It's the truth, though. Am I big? Yeah, one more.
Joey complimenting both Eddie and Mahesh, saying that he believes he's against two of the most accomplished players at this final table. So this final table is loaded for sure in terms of accomplishments.
Well, that's not good for me.
Well, I'm just trying to get better, you know what I mean? That's the raise, 2
This time Mahesh opened it up from the button. 9-7 suited for him. Joey looking down at 7-6. Looks like he is going to defend his big blind for this price. And put in the call. Flop, jack, 9-8, 2 hearts. And Mahesh, middle pair and gut shot. Joey open-ended. Actually went check. Turn 4 spades. Doesn't help either player. Pretty brick turn card. I see Joey. In fact, Joey does bet out 200K. Taking that check back on the flop is a sign of weakness. Open the door for him to start bluffing at it. Semi-bluffing here as he's open-ended. Mahesh calls, and after we see a 10 on the river, both players rivering the straight. Might both be happy to just check it down here as they each have the bottom end of the straight and front door flush did come in. See what Joey looks to do. Did announce a bet. Fires out 300K. Mahesh pretty quickly calls, and I think both players are going to be a little happy to just chop it up. Anti-climactic chop on that hand. These three players continue to battle it out. Again, 3 players playing for $33,000 first place payout. All 3 of them want that one for sure. Nobody's trying to just sneak into second place by any means. Appreciate everybody that's been watching along with us so far and continues to watch as they wrap it up here for the final table of the $400 buy-in, 100K guarantee at Best Bet Jacksonville, located in Jacksonville, Florida. Eddie now, pocket 5s, just to open it up from the button, making it 200K to go. Eddie is currently the shortest of the 3 stacks, but sitting on a little over 20 bigs. Not an overly short stack by any means. Other 2 players both sitting around 40 big blinds themselves. Jack 4-4 flop. Good flop for Eddie's hand. Mahesh checks it. Eddie is gonna continuation bet. Mahesh holding ace high. Just gonna let it go though. Eddie chip up a little bit. Trying to close the gap between himself and the other 2 players at the table. Right now it's anybody's game. It's getting very close in terms of chip stacks. 3-handed.
I'll give him a 2-round penalty. 3-round penalty maybe? Since we're 3-handed? Third warning?
I raise. 200.
Joey opening it up from the button, 7-6 suited.
He's okay.
Eddie looking down at King Trey suited.
My scores.
You're 6.
Absolutely. I'm sure my wife's watching this. They can't hear us, right?
After Eddie does put in the call, it's Jack 9-4, 2 hearts on the flop. Joey flopping a flush draw. Looks like he's assembling his C-bet. Does continue for 250K. A half pot size bet. Eddie with king high and backdoor diamonds. Gonna let it go. Joey taking down that pot. Steve in the chat says he's happy to see Eddie played a short stack well. Eddie did chip up nicely. Started making a nice comeback, and then he won a huge flip against Bill to eliminate Bill in 4th place. Standard pre-flop all-in spot for both players. Eddie opened it up with ace-king. Bill off the short stack with a pocket pair. That's what got us here to 3 players left.
At 100 right now.
All 6.
Blind versus blind, we see Eddie just limp in from the small blind with pocket 4s. Joey with a suited ace, an ace-9, diamonds from the big. He's gonna raise it up. Looks like he made it 3x, 300K. Eddie with a decision with pocket 4s. He's just gonna put in the call. Take this hand post flop. Quite the flop Eddie was looking for as it comes down. King, Jack, 7, rainbow. Flop favors Joey's range as the pre-flop raiser. And checks Joey. Does fire out. Looks to be a little over half pot continuation bet. Betting 450 into 700. Eddie's just going to have to let it go. So back-to-back pots for Joey through Eddie. Joey trying to reestablish himself as the chip leader. Eddie trying to get something going. He can take down one nice sized pot. He'll be hanging right there with the other 2 players. He currently sits off of about 20 big blinds. Hesh and Joey hovering between 40 and 50 bigs. All 3 players very experienced in how to navigate themselves in this spot.
No, I saw him.
Fun to see which one can emerge as the winner here tonight. Eddie let go of his hand from the button. This one Joey in the small blind with king 7 offsuit.
Raise it up.
Joey likes to keep the aggression and pressure on his opponents. He's going to raise it up. Hesh going to call the ace-8 offsuit out of the big. Flop comes down king, queen 6, rainbow. So Joey out flopping his opponent, flopping top pair. Put in a continuation bet a vast majority of the time as the pre-flop aggressor. This is going to be no different. Especially with a pretty nice hand. Hesh going to have to let it go after Joey continues. Another pot going Joey's way. Seen him chipping up pretty well the last couple hands. And there you see it as he's stepping away from the other 2, up to 47 bigs to Mahesh's 28 and Eddie's 17. Joey trying to re-establish himself as a chip leader. We saw him have it a good portion of this final table. Doubled Mahesh up to lose it for a minute, but quickly gained it back. Still though, both Eddie and Mahesh plenty deep to catapult themselves into first place real easily. After Joey folds the button, we saw Mahesh call the small blind. It's on Eddie in the big with pocket 4s. couple of options on the table for Eddie here. See which one he elects to go with.
And I think any decision's good for him here. It looks like he is going to go ahead and put in a raise.
Raise it up. Let's go 360.
Goes with a 3x, 360K total. Blinds just recently went up to 6120. So Eddie making it 3 big blinds to go, and Mahesh just going to have to fold. He gets to take that pot down with a small pair without even seeing the flop.
Okay, guys, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. So appreciate you guys watching. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on our channel. Recently celebrating over 9,400 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Definitely appreciate all the support you guys have given us. Final table action here with our 100K guarantee. 445 entries for this tournament. 144,625 into prize pool. And these 3 players are playing for first place, trying to take home that prize of $33,265 up top for first place.
You get away with it with the other guy. No, damn well I'm right too.
Been a pretty entertaining final table. Saw some early fireworks. Saw a double elimination as well.
120 to go.
Joey doing most of the hard work, knocking players out. Did see Eddie eliminate a player as well.
Now look at this, Joey, who has been on a hot streak. Pocket kings. He'll go ahead and just make the call, so.
Mix things up and get a little trappy.
Yep. Ace, ace, 5 flop. Not exactly a flop you would want to see with kings, but it does go check, check.
Yeah, especially after limping in, though, and the big blind checking. Easy to kind of discount Mahesh from having an ace, as he probably would have raised it pre-flop.
Now, queen on the turn. That's actually a Mahesh thinking he's going to go ahead and fire out the bet here. And a call from Joey.
Yeah, pretty easy for Mahesh to think he is in the lead, as Joey, as we talked about, very active pre-flop, would have raised it up with an ace most of the time.
So
him on a premium hand also.
And 9 does come on the river, but Joey still with the check mark as his 2 pair way better.
It does bet for value at 400K, and he's going to get paid off. Mahesh put in the call with the queen. Really hard to put Joey on the hand that he had.
He said he mixed it up. Got a little trappy and just extracted value out of Mahesh
We
there.
have not seen him do anything like that up till now.
Right. Definitely changed it up.
Very much a foot on the gas type of player. Keeping the pressure on his opponents. Throws in a little wrinkle there, and it kind of worked out. Maybe got the most. As Mahesh might have folded pre-flop. Definitely would have folded flop facing a bet.
I think.
Wow, another premium for Joey.
Jeez, ace king for Joey.
You got 4 times right at this time, too?
Aces. That kings.
Yeah, Joey had aces before. Now ace king for him here. Joey just cannot be stopped, man. He is just hitting everything.
Yeah, had aces.
Really a one-man wrecking crew.
And with that play earlier from the last hand, he gives the players that he's up against something else to think about now, too. As far as changing up what he wants to do. Trey, ace 10 flop. Joey hits his ace.
Continuation bet. Doesn't necessarily mean Joey has the hand he has, but Eddie doesn't have anything he can really go to battle with. So let it go. Kind of unfortunate for Joey that Eddie didn't have anything, as we've seen Joey c-bet nearly 100% of the time as the pre-flop raiser, so he's going to get looked up pretty light.
Joey, you can 120 twice already.
Yeah, you're talking about PFR there. There's how it looks. As far as
That's
percentages
a little
go.
bit wider compared to the other two right now.
Let's raise it up 275 from the floor.
And as soon as we mentioned that, here's Mahesh raising it up to 275.
Yeah,
Queen
it's tough
9.
because those calculations are from the start of the final table, and obviously,
Correct, yeah.
being three-handed, the dynamic has shifted.
Quite a bit. Yeah. Definitely have to take that into consideration too.
Joey, king 6 suited out of the big. Hasn't put in the call yet. Imagine the call is incoming. Pretty nice hand. Three-handed, king 6 suited from the big blind. Joey does call, and it's him and Mahesh to a flop of 10-10-6, 2 diamonds. Joey, the best hand, checks it over. Mahesh checks it back. Interesting turn card and a jack of spades is now Mahesh open-ended. Like Joey's gonna fire out a bet. Goes with 1/3 pot, 250K. Spot where he can get called by a lot of different draw hands, since it's a pretty wet board with 2 diamonds, 2 spades. A lot of straight draws out there. Ace of club comes on the river. None of the flushes come in. King queen did get there. See Joey lead right out. Ash gonna have to let it go. Rich get richer, and Joey just absolutely walking away with the chip lead is now Ash and Eddie both under 20 big blinds. Either one can stand up and find a double.
Big. 60.
Been all Joey as of late. Again, Joey looking down at an ace this time. Out of the small blind. After Eddie let it go from the button. Just gonna put in the call. Saw him do this with pocket kings just not too long ago, so Mahesh checking his option. So a little weary of a Joey limp doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad hand. Now on a 9-7-5 flop, Joey actually just gonna lead right out. See Mahesh have to let it go. Yet another pot just going Joey's way. Right now, it's hard to ignore the momentum Joey's built.
I mean, do we have to play this out or get chopped somewhere? It's up to you guys. Can we chop somewhere or do we have to play this out? Yeah. I don't care either way.
Hey, good job. You want to give me 25K?
125? 120 to go. Be still honest.
Actually see Joey get out of the way, so it's going to be Mahesh versus Eddie, blind versus blind, the 2 short stacks. Mahesh limps in with the 9-7. Eddie's going to check his option with the 8-6. of these players in very desperate need of picking up a pot. See which one's able to do it here. Jack 10 4 rainbow flop. Mahesh gonna lead with his gut shot. Eddie eyeing up his chip stack. Thought about bluffing for a minute, but he's just gonna let it go. Mahesh's bet gets through.
Joey gave it a big for $1.20.
Got Tim and Sherry over in the Facebook chat showing up rooting on Eddie. He's going to need all the love and support he can get. Looking for a much needed double up at this point. See if he can find it. Here's a hand that it could happen. King Jack offsuit for Eddie in the small blind. Off an 11 big blind stack. Interesting to see if Eddie comes in with a nice raise. Does just put in the limp. We've seen Joey be very aggressive. Joey actually checks his option with the 10-7. Flop comes down. 9-7 tray with 2 clubs. To Eddie. 2 overcards. Gonna lead with them here. Betting the minimum 120K. Joey with middle pair. Going nowhere. He's gonna put in the call. Now ace of hearts falls in turn. Eddie wants to continue telling his story with that card. It might get through, but instead it goes check, check. 9 of spades pairs the board on the river. Flush and straight draws all miss. Joey's just going to check it back and gets to take down this pot with his 7. So Joey, yet again, taking down a pot. One that would have been rather nice for Eddie to take, as he needs some life. Now Joey with another premium hand. Pocket jacks out of the small blind.
Raise. 260 now?
Does raise it up. Mahesh has something playable. Unfortunately, he does not. Alan over in Facebook saying Eddie should have raised with the King Jack. Yeah, I think he may have put in the limp to go for the limp raise, or just hoping to outplay Joey post flop. Not exactly sure what his plan was there. Wish we could do like sideline reporting and get in these players' heads. Would be fun. I know the last final table we did, Eddie joined us in the booth, and that was a lot of fun hearing some of his thought process across some hands.
Yeah, especially when we hit our breaks and everything. Joey's got kings again. I just walked in and Joey's got kings again.
Joey is on a tear. He's taken down probably 10 out of the last 11 pots. It's been relentless.
Man, oh man. Joey's just unstoppable right now.
And Eddie with 10-6 suited in the big. Might be tempted to put in the call, but he's just got to let it go off his short stack. It's been one of those things where Joey just gets to keep raising and taking pots over and over again, as Mahesh and Eddie are very close in chips, and it's a big pay jump between third and second. Neither one wants to eliminate themselves at this stage. as Joey keeps navigating himself well. Should be able to just keep chipping up slowly but surely. Mahesh looks down at an ace. Ace deuce offsuit from the button. Actually, any ace three handed is a pretty strong hand. He's gonna have to get out of there. Now it's Joey with another monster in pocket nines. GT Jack says Joey, quote unquote, the card rack. Might be an appropriate nickname at this point. It's been a heater of heaters for Joey.
Yep, and here he is,
Last 20, 30 minutes. My gosh.
Bullying again, going all in.
Yeah, pretty easy 3-bet shove spot for him, and Mahesh can't stand the heat. He's gonna have to let it go. Easy for Mahesh to be very dominated in that spot. Has to fold his ace deuce. Joey chipping up yet again. I think people are tired of hearing me say the same thing over and over.
I mean, that's what happened, though. I mean, it's just. I mean, I'm trying to think of like all the like run goods or heaters that we've seen a player go on this final table. I don't think I've like for the tournament tables that I've seen here on our live stream. I don't think I've seen anyone run this hot before on a final table like this.
Here, we do see Joey just put in the limp. Mahesh had to check it back, and it's ace queen 4 flop. Actually went check check. Ace on the turn. River Trey actually goes check check, and hey, Joey takes down another pot.
Yeah. Shocker.
Andrew on Facebook says Joey's face is going to be hurting him tomorrow because he's getting slapped so hard with the deck. Ugh. Maybe comment another night there from Andrew.
Yeah. And this has been absolutely unreal.
See if Mahesh or Eddie can wake up with a hand worth getting it in. Both are sitting pretty short at this stage, looking for a much-needed double up.
Now we'll give you guys a heads up too. Whatever comes first, whether we end up going heads up or we do hit our next break, which is scheduled in about 10 minutes or so from now. The players will be taking a break either way, and we will be doing a color up as well. So we're slated to take a break here shortly, just depending on what happens first, whether we A, hit the level break, or if we do get the heads up before then. So and here's Eddie and Mahesh in a hand. Mahesh is just going to go ahead and bet and take here.
And it's just worth noting, as much as it is a scheduled amount of break time, if the players return to the table early, then obviously we'll come back to the coverage early as well.
Right, yeah.
Especially shorthanded, you have players just kind of happy to run to the bathroom, and when they all get back and agree to resume play, then they get right back at it. There's a chance that the break doesn't go the full 10 or 15 minutes as scheduled. We're going to find out. Eddie with queen 5 out of the small blind. 5 big blinds behind.
660.
He is just going to effectively put it all in. Joey looks down at rarely seen garbage for him. He's going to let it go. So Eddie gets to take down a pot. Very much needed off that 5 big blind stack. Buying a little bit of time and a little bit of life there. As these three continue to play on. Pretty much no discussion of a chop was made. One time it was brought up, it got quickly shut down. All three very interested in just winning it outright. Joey looking down an ace out of the small blind. Ace 9 offsuit.
It's the 310.
Puts in the raise, around 2.5x. Mesh with an ace-4, gonna have to let it go. Gonna be happy to see that he made the right fold there. Such a close spot.
That has been a pretty fun final table tonight, though, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys watching.
Call. Option.
445 players in total for this field for our 100K guarantee. Now down to our final 3.
Heads up. Check.
And we do see a flop, and action did check over to Eddie. 5-5 queen.
120.
Eddie's gonna go ahead and bet 120. Wow, Eddie down to 5 bigs left now. But he is gonna get some back here.
Fun game.
Him and Hesh just kind of getting squeezed out over and over again by Joey. He's just been chipping away at him pot after pot.
Man, oh man. Yeah, Joey with all the chips.
Yeah, roughly 80% of the chips in play.
At least.
Pretty good amount. Somebody can find a way to make a comeback, though. It'll be very impressive.
That's the reason why they call it chip in a chair, right?
And I thought we were going to see it with JT Jack early. We saw him chip up and start to get some life. Would have been a fun comeback to see. Did get a couple of ladders at least.
We are King Queen for Mahesh. He's going to go ahead and put in the raise. Eddie lets it go, and Joey Jack 9.
Joey, we know, does like putting in the defense. Doesn't want to fold his blinds too much, but the way things have been going, there's no reason for him to think that anybody's raising him light. He's kind of been able to just keep navigating as the aggressor in as many spots as he likes.
It's crazy looking at his chip stack right now. He's got 72 bigs still. He is going to let it go.
Yeah, no reason to get overly active on the defensive side of things when you can kind of had smooth sailing as the aggressor. Dan over in Facebook asking about the buy-in. This event was a $400 buy-in. Had 100K guaranteed in the prize pool. Did exceed that guarantee as it got $144,625 in there today. These guys are playing for $33K for first place. All three really looking to go home the winner. Eddie just gonna rip it with pocket fives. Sitting on about 8 big blinds. Both players let it go, and Eddie gets to take it down. Very eventful three-handed play here. Nobody's getting eliminated easy, that is for sure. Both Eddie and Mahesh not going down without a fight. Even though Joey has the overwhelming chip lead. We've seen things swing before. Let's see if that can happen again.
Let me have one. Just fold one. You don't gotta let. Hold on. Redo. You can vote. Let him know he can vote. I think he has to put it in there.
Eddie lightening things up as Mahesh limped in from the small blind. We've seen Mahesh limp in a vast majority of the time, which is what Eddie's joking about. Feel free to give me a walk. Dead. We're off to a 10-7-4 two-spade flop.
200. That's
just going to lead out with his gut shot straight draw. Eddie holding jack high. He's going to think about it for a minute first. figure out what his opponent could have, but just going to let it go.
I mean, you should know, it's like a part of the game. Everyone needs to know.
Are we taking the break after this? Yeah.
All right, so I guess this is going to be the last hand before the break.
Little break after this. Just enough to pay.
I need the whole break.
Eddie says I need the whole break.
So these players did restart at noon, so I'd imagine for some of them hunger is creeping in, definitely becoming a factor.
All right, so they are taking a break here, but little bit of a spoiler. During the break, they did discuss, and they were discussing what they wanted to do as a potential chop. So during this break, while this discussion was going on, as they were coming back from the break, they discussed things more, and they did elect to go ahead and chop 3 ways. So the tournament itself is officially over now. Joey is going to be taking home the lion's share of everything. First place money, that is going to be for Joey. He's going to be taking home the new payout of $28,000 for himself. And both Eddie and Mahesh are going to chop up the remaining amount, as their chip counts were pretty close as far as their stacks are concerned. So they are both going to be taking home $19,264 each. So congratulations to Joey. He is your 100K guarantee tournament winner, as he did take home the first place prize, and he's going to be taking home the trophy as well. Again, they were taking a break here. As you see, everyone's trying to do the color up, but during that break, they did decide to go ahead and chop it up. So that is going to be the end for us today. And appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys watching. Mike, any final words from you, man? I know you enjoy this final table action.
Yeah, a little surprised that they did come to agreement after how quickly it shot down earlier, but GG, congrats to Joey. And appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out with us tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. But yeah, that is going to be it for us tonight, guys. Again, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys watching. We will be back at it Thursday night, back with cash game action on our live stream this coming weekend. Thursday night, the 28th, we'll be back at it with some 2-2 deep stack action. Then on Friday night, high stake action, 10-25, no limit hold'em action. That's going to be taking place. That's going to be a fun one. And then on Saturday the 30th, we'll be back at it with some 2-5 deep stack action. So that's coming up on the live stream this coming weekend. For Mike Kruger, card room manager, Best Bet Orange Park, for our dealers tonight, Seth and Jacob. My name is Ryan, also known as Country. We will see you guys Thursday night for that 2-2 deep stack cash game. Until then, y'all take care. Be easy. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, all that fun stuff. We'll see you Thursday night.